Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. We're live on PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel. Alan Ruff, Tam McManus, Charlie Adam and myself, Peter Martin. First of all, congratulations to Rangers. It is the Europa League final for them. 9 years ago, it's hard to believe they were winning the third division championship. Now they're looking forward to a European final.
Rangers stamped their ticket to the Europa League final in sensational style with a 3-1 victory last night at Ibrox in the second leg against LB Leipzig to emerge 3-2 winners on aggregate. Rangers fans all over the country will be doing everything they can to get to Seville to watch their team compete in their first European final in 14 years. Leipzig had the one-goal advantage from the first leg in Germany, and in the biggest game at Ibrox in 50 years, the light blue skipper James Tavernier levelled the tie in the 18th minute with a close-range finish. Glenn Kamara added to the scoreline within 25 minutes, sending the Rangers support into dreamland. But the hero of the night, after Leipzig had brought it back level, was John Lundstrom, who sealed the deal on the 80th minute to send his side to Seville.
It's been an amazing night from the start. We had the start we wanted to score first. I think that was very important in this game. I think the players were on full speed for the first 35 minutes, and we managed to get 2 goals in, which was amazing. I knew either goal, would be decisive, and to score the 83rd minute, the goal for John gave us not only the belief. I think the belief was already there, but the energy and power to play the last minutes. Very proud for the performance of my team. The interaction with the fans today was amazing. I played so many games here as a player, and from last November as a manager, but the atmosphere today was incredible. That helped us a lot, and you could see the celebrations afterwards. We were happy. We were celebrating to reach the final, also in the locker room, and which was really nice. But I think we ended the atmosphere of partying, and we took a moment to let the achievement sink in, and to have a really nice toast of Jimmy Kidman, who I'm sure was watching it from above, and we toasted on his life and his achievements, what he's done for this club, and we will miss him for the rest of our lives.
What a nice touch from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, that lovely tribute to Jimmy Bell. And it was not only an emotional night, but eventually when Rangers got down to business, I think quite a lot of those players would have had that extra burst of adrenaline, just in memory of Jimmy as the kit man. They wanted to go out in style there and put on a show, and boy did they do that, Charlie.
It was unbelievable. I thought that Rangers would be a wee bit cagey in the first 10-15 minutes, but they got straight after Leipzig. Went for 3 for 3 at the back at times, and there was huge gaps in the middle of the park. But once they broke the press, goals, and I thought Bassi was magnificent the whole night, and just never gave Poulsen or Nkunku a kick all night. Obviously scored the goal in Nkunku, but apart from that, he never really showed much. And performance from Rangers, I think Van Bronckhorst got his tactics spot on.
Yeah, the place itself was absolutely bouncing. It was some display right around the ground, Ruffy. That was the first thing. But the noise level, even Richard Gough. And Richard Gough, for me, actually, I was in the ground when Richard Gough scored in the 2-2 game against Celtic, and it was a noise that you would never believe, because Rangers were down to 10 men, yeah. I think even 9 men actually, and still managed to get an equaliser, and the roar that day was incredible. And then you witnessed some great European nights at Ibrox, but that one I think topped a lot.
Yeah, European games, fans love them, and you've been brought up to be in it every year, and you haven't been there for a long time, you know what's coming around the corner, and that final will be absolutely amazing. I think we saw when Celtic went there, they had about 60,000 there that didn't have tickets. I think the same will happen this time. I think every Rangers supporter can afford a flight just to be in the city, will be there, and again it'll be a tremendous night. But you're right, in these nights, and Charlie probably has experienced them more than me, when you're on the park and you've got 50,000 people right behind you, it's an incredible feeling.
Yeah, I thought they would win last night, Sam. I thought they would win a couple of goals, Rangers, and so it panned out. I think of all the teams that they've played, I think possibly on this programme, I think the only team that we've suggested that they couldn't win against was Dortmund. and they got past them with a fantastic result. But last night was one of those ones where we all said that if they could get out of Germany with maybe just one goal, they would take them back to Ibrox and win, and that's how it panned out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tell from the first 5-10 minutes that Rangers were bang at it, every single player. You know, every player, they were squeezing the game. You know, they didn't know what hit them. You know, the atmosphere, when obviously I wasn't at the game, Charlie was at the game, but even just watching it on the TV, you know, the atmosphere was incredible, and I just don't think they coped with it at all. I think Rangers made them defend. You know, they didn't play high balls, but they got running at fullbacks to put balls across the box, and they couldn't defend it. I mean, the first goal was great play from Ryan Kent, who was excellent all night. You know, set up a couple of goals, and I just think that Rangers were outstanding, deserved to win. You know, there's games where it's been cagey and they've had a good spell, you know, and Rangers were under pressure. I don't think Rangers were ever really under that much pressure last night. I thought they controlled the game from start to finish, and they made it. Listen, they're a really good side. You know, they were 2 years ago in the semi-finals of the Champions League. You know, they went to PSG and Man City and were competitive.
Yeah.
You know, beat Atlanta 2-0. I mean, they're a right good side, and Rangers made them look average. And I think that's the biggest compliment I could give to Rangers, that they made a very good side look average.
And every now and then we all have to take it on the chin if we stick our neck out there and, you know, make a prediction. And you decided to really stick your chin out there, didn't you? What was it you said?
I said that I think Rangers were playing Dortmund, and I think somebody put on they were 33 to 1 to win the Europa League, and I says, oh, that's a good price. If you put a tenner on, you lose a tenner. So that could come back and haunt me big time, because Rangers now, for me, are favourites to win. I think they've beaten two German sides, for me, are better than Frankfurt. I know Frankfurt have had a couple of great results, but I don't think Rangers will fear that. I think if Rangers beat another German team, they get to put them in the mantelpiece.
Yeah. Another great thing about it, Michael Crooks has just posted a message. He says, Tam McManus, you couldn't predict the weather even if you looked out your window and it was raining. so there you are. I think Michael is ladling into him. If you make that prediction, at least you're going to get an opinion on here, Charlie.
So that's what it's all about. And you've got to back it up, but it was a hell of a result. You know, I think.
Tavernier has scored 7 goals, top goal scorer in the European competition. I mean, that's some going for a right back.
Phenomenal. Somebody from the English Premier League texted me last night during the game, said he's better than what we've got. So it just shows the numbers and the quality that he's got. It's going to be a big summer for Rangers if we look too far ahead, and if they did get the Champions League. You know, you got a lot of these players 1 year's left in their contract, you know, so it's a big decision financially for what Rangers want to do, but you know, if they can win it first, then that'll be something they've got to worry about later. But you know, some of these players that have been magnificent, Lundstrom coming in a free transfer, it took him a while to get going, but once he's got going, he's been magnificent, and he's the heartbeat, he drives the team. And he's obviously popped up with a big goal last night. Yeah, and the other thing I was going to point out to you, Ruffy, which is absolutely amazing. I saw a set of stats and I thought, okay, I'll see if we can check them out just to see about Rangers. When you consider the money Leipzig have spent and others, including Dortmund in this, McGregor's a free, Tavernier 200,000, Golson 900,000, Lundstrom's a free, Bassi's a free, Barisic 2.2 million. Jack a free, Aribo is a free, Kamara 50 grand, Wright 180 grand, Kent 7 million. Wages. Yeah. You got to put wages on that because they're on good wages. Well, they're on good wages, but look at the money that they've spent. I understand that. It's only £13.5 million. But the wages will be, you know, it's big wages what they'll be earning. Will it rival Leipzig? Oh no, definitely not. You know, they're not going to rival them. That is absolutely magnificent, isn't it? No, listen, as a recruitment business, you know, you look at the assets that they have now in that football club. 2 or 3 that spot out, Kamara, Aribo, you know, Kent. They're going to lose Golson for free in the summer for nothing. Yeah. But he's gave his money's worth, isn't he, over the 4 years? You know, never injured, played every game really, and. You know, it's been phenomenal, and this group of players, you know, Stephen started the foundations of it all, and Giovanni's just now come in and taken it to a different level again, and getting them to a final, which is an unbelievable achievement. I just think that the money that they've put out here, I mean, I know Gerrard wanted competition in each position, and then they've got them playing that European style, Ruffy, which really suited them. I mean, they just looked formidable, knew what they were doing home and away. Lots of great results along the way, but last night you're saying to yourself,
You know, Leipzig, like Dortmund, they go into that game, and I'm looking at the odds. Tam's talking about the odds and who's favourites. Rangers at the moment are 7-5 outsiders, and they were 7-1 before the semi-final, and Eintracht Frankfurt are 13-8 on to win.
No, I don't think any of us would agree with that. You know, I think Leipzig and Dortmund were better than Frankfurt. I think the league tells that over the season. But I agree with Charlie a wee bit. You know, whoever was in charge, the way that they were going to get Rangers back to where they weren't going to splash big money, but they were going to put them all on good wages. But that takes a wee bit of a gamble, and it's got to work for you, and it's certainly worked. It's worked tenfold. You know, anybody that's brought in, if they're on X amount of pounds, anybody that's been in that European side has deserved everything they've got, because they are a European. I don't know, it's the style of play that they play. The European football suits them, I think, more than the Premier League. I don't know what the difference is, but I don't know, you get more time in Europe, and you get more.
There's a lot more technical players in
that's
Europe.
right, and sometimes you get more possession.
Technical players are better than they are in Scotland.
You know, but they've stepped up to the plate for me, because I said yesterday, I think Rangers will have to score 3 goals to win this, and I couldn't see the 3 goals.
What I think impresses me is that sometimes they have sat off, but majority of the home games anyway, they've got after big teams. I seen Lyon earlier in the season, and I thought Lyon, they're going to win this competition because of what they had in. But Lyon lost a lot of players, and they bossed Rangers in that first game at Ibrox. Obviously, you know, Rangers lost the first 2 games as well, so it put them under a wee bit of pressure. And I thought Lyon, top side, they've got a chance, they could win this tournament. But apart from that, every game at Ibrox I've seen, Rangers have got after them. They've got after the opponents, and they've not liked it. Even your top teams, your Dortmunds, and you know, last night they didn't know what to do. And like I say, Tam, they end up going long and forcing the play, which not what they want to do. And it played into Rangers' hand. And you know, I think Calvin Bassey, for me, set the tempo into how he played. I thought he was magnificent.
Yeah,
I thought Gary Holt made a great point yesterday on the show that about Rangers in Europe. You know, Rangers are expected to win every game here. You know, I think it suited them, you know, particularly against Dortmund and against Leipzig, to win the underdogs. There was less pressure on them, and they were playing against teams that were going to come onto them. There's not a team in Scotland that will come onto Rangers bar Celtic. You know, the rest of the teams at Ibrox, even at home, they'll sit in, they'll play one up front, it'll be difficult to break down. Rangers are thriving on the extra space and the teams coming at them and having a go at them. Leave space for Kent, you know, leave space for, you know, whoever is up front, Morelos, and I think that's been key, that Rangers are. That suits their style of play, that teams come after them and they can go and hit them in the counter attack, and the pressure's off a little bit. You know, they're not expected to win every game. You know, and I think that's been good as well. But I think Frankfurt, I can't believe that the bookies have got Frankfurt favourites. I would have Rangers favourites personally, but I think that's great for Rangers.
Yeah,
that's great for Rangers. It's great for Rangers fans that Rangers are outsiders to win it, but it suits Rangers to be outsiders, not to be favourites.
Yeah, the other thing about it, Charlie, which I think will be a welcome figure for the likes of Douglas Park and the board, is quite simply you have a situation, if they win it in Seville, that's a guaranteed 7.3 million. Then you've got obviously going into the group stages, and you know, with the TV rights, they'll share a pot with Celtic on that, but it's still, they'll be up over £40 million.
Well, listen, that was, like Ruffy said, that was what at the start of the season the target was, to win the league. Did everybody think they would get to the final? Possibly not. You know, you'd have the odd Rangers fan that say they'll get to the final, but Rangers would never have banked on getting to the Europa League final. They're banked on winning the Premier League and getting there through that route. But they have got an opportunity. It's one game now to get to the Champions League, where that's where the money is. And if they do win that, they'll be straight into pot 1. Where I think if they win the Scottish League, they wouldn't have went into pot 1. So it's a different, you know, it's a different avenue to go there and win that Europa League and get straight into the pot 1 would be incredible. And finances for both clubs, you know, us on the outside of the 2 big clubs will be thinking the gap's just going to get bigger.
Yeah,
which it is. It will always will, because of what they bring. But you know, both clubs doing well in the Champions League, it's extra revenue for our clubs in Scotland as well.
Yeah, and I think if they get in, I think we're all aware of the fact that if they get in to the Champions League, Rangers will be in pot 1, Celtic in pot 4. But nevertheless, into pot 1, and you're saying to yourself, good, you know, first of all, the coefficient goes up. Hopefully the teams 3rd and 4th place in Scottish football, 5th, start to reap the rewards of that. Maybe if we even, as Tam mentioned before the show started, if you get one of the other clubs
yeah.
into the group stage of European competition, they're guaranteed something minimum of about £3 million. That changes their budget, that changes their structure, Ruffy.
Yeah, and we do want the other teams to be able to compete against Rangers and Celtic. I mean, Rangers and Celtic, we're talking about getting 40 million. You know, the teams below them, we're talking about 2 or 3 million, but at least if they spend it wisely, you know, you're going to get competitive games, because that 40 million at Rangers and Celtic, if they start throwing it about, we're going to get back to them winning the league by 30 points, 35 points, which I don't think we want to see. We want to see somebody giving them a challenge, you know, so whoever that is in third or fourth have to use that money wisely.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get the wee tattle that we're in pot 1 and you're in pot 4, so we get more money for the TV rights?
Yeah, to be fair, by the way, you do get that, Charlie, but that's called being in a pub with a Southern Comfort.
They're going to be arguing, isn't it?
Yeah,
we were in pot 1 and you were in pot 4, so that means we're better.
Charlie, this feed here that comes in, within 1 second of somebody putting a thread out, they all start battering each other. I only read out 1 out of every 300 because obviously some of them are going bananas about it.
It's amazing because Celtic fans will still maintain that they're a better side than Rangers because they won the league. They're going to win the league, and Rangers fans will go, well, it's a bigger achievement to win the Europa League than it is to win the Scottish League, so that's where the argument is going to burn.
Well, there's no argument there, by the way.
To win the Europa League is a bigger achievement.
If you win a Europa League, by the way,
absolutely.
Can you imagine the merchandise alone from winning the Europa League? I mean, Rangers getting to the UEFA Cup final in 2008, you know, shirt sales alone, all the branding that was associated with it, it was big business. This one, if they win it, and I think they will win it, is massive. You know, never mind getting the money off UEFA. All the branding and the merchandise will be through the roof.
Yeah, listen, Castor will be delighted the last couple of years of obviously new sponsor coming in, so they'll, you know, obviously, like you say, the merchandise will go through the roof.
Yeah.
Just for this cup win. But let's just hope that both teams can get into the Champions League, and like you say, everybody else is going to benefit from them, both teams being in it. They're our 2 biggest clubs. And you know, if everybody else is getting a wee slice of it in the back of it, it's only good for Scottish football going forward.
Yeah, one last little point that I think will be very, very interesting, guys. Ruffy, the amount of mates of mine who are Rangers fans who have sent texts saying, can you get tickets, can you do this, can you do that? And then of course there's the other ones where they've decided to book their flights and they're going that way, that way, that way. They're flying to every destination they can to somehow get to Seville. I mean, it's going to be absolutely mental, isn't it?
That's what fans are about, you know, that's what they do. You just want to be there with your mates, you know, people you go to the games with. Probably a lot of them have been to every game and the road, and you don't want to miss the final. Obviously everybody can get a ticket for the final, but I think if you're in the vicinity it's worth making the effort to get there no matter what.
Oh, the expats over there as well in Spain will be making their...
If you had the option and you were struggling in the plane and all that, would you do the camper van thing? Or the other one of a pitch and a tent and then just start
I can imagine taking a camper van with 3 or 4 years, going through and taking tons of driving all the way across Europe.
Yeah.
Stopping at every wee port and all that, a bit magic.
It would be, but obviously, what do you call it? You know, I don't think I could do it with you three.
Why don't we just tip Ruffy up and we'll just get the old private jet out?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be good, by the way. I have seen adverts for the private.
Private jet.
You're paying.
It's
coming off your credit
Listen,
card.
somebody will book a private jet.
Oh, there'll be plenty of private jets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glasgow, don't you worry about that.
Okay, do you think Rangers can win it? Okay, let's ask it early on. I mean, no point in asking you because you don't even know if it's raining outside. Do you think Rangers can win it?
I think they're big favourites now.
Do you think they will win it?
Yes, I think they will win it now, yeah.
You okay?
And I think my prediction will be not good.
Okay, I think Rangers will win it, Ruffy.
Yeah, I do. I think this team aren't as good as the Zenit team that beat Rangers the last time.
Yeah.
So I think Rangers go into it favourites as well.
Yep. Charlie?
No, I think Frankfurt. No, I'm joking.
You'd need to have resuscitated me if you'd said that.
I think Rangers have got We've got a great chance of it now, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Give us your thoughts on that as well. Rangers to win the Europa League, it certainly would be an incredible achievement when you think back at the journey. Such a long one, but it's all the way now to Seville against Eintracht Frankfurt. Just before we move on to the league stuff, Eintracht Frankfurt defeated West Ham by 1-0. Didn't quite work out for David Moyes. Frankfurt, to be fair, they've taken the scalp of Barcelona along the way. They've had a few good scalps, just like Rangers.
Yeah, I think we, probably us, have taken our eye off of them because Rangers have beat Leipzig and have beat Dortmund. But I'm sure the Rangers won't treat them lightly. You know, they'll have done an analysis on who they have beaten, what kind of team they are collectively and individually. So, you know, I just think it's on paper because Rangers have done so well against the other two German sides that this one looks as if it's a formality, but I'm sure it won't be. Yeah,
as far as David Moyes is concerned, disappointment for the Hammers. He doesn't feel as if last night was the killer for them. It was the tie at the London Stadium.
So I must say, I must congratulate Eintracht Frankfurt. You know, we probably lost the game in the first minute at the London Stadium. We gave a goal away after 30, 40 seconds. So ever since that point, we've been chasing the game, really. So congratulations to them. We wish them well.
Gutted for Davey, didn't quite work out for them, and of course you can tell the tension was getting to him. I think he booted a water bottle at a ball boy as well and gets sent off.
Yeah, it was a ball, wasn't it? He tried to half volley a ball. But listen, emotions run high. It's one of the biggest games for West Ham in the last 20 or 30 years. You know, a chance for them to win a European trophy doesn't come along very often, so their supporters will be sick, and it's kind of deprived us of a kind of Battle of Britain in the final as well, which would have been great.
And having hung about with Davey for a good few years, I'm amazed he actually managed to get the volley in the first place. Maybe that's why the referee red carded him.
Use a touch tackle.
Yeah.
I think, like you say, he said they lost it in that first leg. You know, when you can use home advantage first and try and get the win. They never got that, and they're always on the back foot, especially going away from home. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's get ready for the Premiership at the weekend. Here's what's on offer for you if you are going out to a game. Let's hope you enjoy it. Celtic against Hearts. It could be the game that, mathematically, I suppose there's an equation that might work in Rangers' favour, but if Celtic win this one with a goal difference, that all but seals the title. At home to Hearts, it's Hibs, Aberdeen, Livingston, St Johnstone, Ross County, Motherwell, St Mirren against Dundee, and Rangers against Dundee United on the Sunday. And fair play to him, even the Celtic manager, Ange Postecoglou, has paid tribute to Rangers for reaching the Europa League final.
Over the two legs, I think they were the better team and deserved to be in the final, and they've been really strong in Europe all year. I mean, it's been a tough week for them with the passing of Jimmy Bell, and obviously, whenever you work inside a football club, when you lose somebody, it must have been a really tough week for particularly the players and the staff who have dealt with him. But I thought they deserved to get through the final.
Yeah, I think a nice compliment there from Ange Postecoglou. I'd love to say the times they are changing, but it's really down to the fact that Ange Postecoglou is a thoroughly decent man that he can make that statement. Sometimes, people are up in arms if you're paying tribute to your great rivals.
No, I think you've got to move on. Things have moved on. Yeah, there's a rivalry there, but you've got to be decent and complimenting a fellow member of your association. So I think he's been very, very good, and I hope there's lots of other people come out and congratulate Rangers.
Yeah, he's manager of the month for April. Absolutely no surprise in that as well, Tam. I think he's now picked up 5 of managers of the month.
Yeah, I think he's been a breath of fresh air for Scottish football. I think he's very straight talking. He's a guy personally who I would like to play for. I think he's a guy that you would run through a wall for. I think he looks after his players. Even at the start of the season when Celtic were struggling, he never came out and slaughtered the players. He always says, listen, it's on me, and I'll get it right eventually, and he never had to go at the players. So I think he deserves all the success. He's stuck with his principles as well. Start of the season, playing attacking football, took a lot of abuse, easy to go longer, change his philosophy, stuck with it, and they've got the rewards, and they'll thoroughly deserve to win the league.
I wonder if this, in a perverse sort of way, Rangers going to the final, if they take that next step and win it, does that throw down the gauntlet to the Celtic board to say they've got to step up to the plate and add more to the kitty for Ange Postecoglou?
No, I think Celtic will look at their own business and worry about what's in their own house and deal with what the situation is. If Ange will, he's come and done what he's probably been told to do, win a league and unfortunately not to win a cup, but to win the league is a massive achievement because you get straight in the Champions League. I don't think it'll make it because Rangers get to Europa League final and win it and get in the Champions League. That means that Celtic will go and spend an extra 10 million. There'll be a kitty there for next season. They won't overspend. They'll spend wisely, shrewd like they have been in the market in Japan or wherever they come from. But it's no, I don't see Celtic going and changing the dynamics of the football club just because Rangers have got to a final or win a final. It's, you know, they'll be worrying what they do in their own house and keeping the players. But I think the big thing for Celtic will be trying to keep players that are doing well for them on loan at the moment to move forward next season. Yeah, even Cameron Carter-Vickers getting a call up for the USA, suddenly that increases the pressure again, Tom.
Yeah, I think he's been outstanding this season. I think he's probably the one for me that I know Celtic fans will want to sign Jota. I think he's been excellent, but for me the best player for Celtic, you know, new signing for Celtic has been Carter-Vickers, and he would be a huge miss. I think he knows Scottish football, he's versatile, you know, he plays every game, he's never injured. You know, strong on the tackle, quick, you know, ticks a lot of boxes for a Celtic defender, particularly when Celtic play a high line and press the game. You've got to have pace to play in that, you know, maybe 2v2 or 2v1 at the back. I think he's a must for Celtic to try and sign. Listen, whether Spurs ask for stupid money, you know, somebody in England might pay that, Premiership, top end Championship, but Celtic will be looking desperately to sign him.
If the board is going to be prudent, as they always are, Ruffy, the fans won't be. I think they'll be looking and saying you need to pull out all the stops here.
Yeah, I think that the fans will remember, was it 3 years ago, the last time they won the Champions League? It was disappointing. You know, I don't think you want to go into the Champions League and be the bottom team and getting thumped 6 and 7-0.
Yeah.
So I think the supporters will be wanting to say, look, let's get in there and let's try and compete. And I know it's very, very difficult with the money that some of the people have got, but I think they'll be looking at a better quality player to try and compete, you know, and because they're big games, there will be Ibrox and Parkhead, so you want to be seen to be decent enough to go into these games. Yeah, absolutely. I like this one from Thomas McDougall, who sent us a message saying, Peter, will you be going to the Super Cup final, Rangers against Liverpool?
Will you be supporting there?
Thomas is just jumping ahead there, booking his seats already, no doubt, but nevertheless, Thomas, enjoy it, because Rangers are in a Europa League final. Congratulations from everyone here at PLZ Soccer. Absolutely fantastic for the game here in Scotland as well, but for the players, I think on the evidence of last night and the fans, this could be a summer to remember. It's been a long time since they've got their hands on a European trophy, 1972, but it's one of those finals where you're thinking, this could be it. Give us your prediction on it, see what you think. Celtic against Hearts, hopefully you've put your predictions in, Ruffy. There's only 2 or 3 weeks to go now, and we've cranked it up, so what have you gone for?
I've went for Celtic. I think some of the Hearts players have always got their eye in the cup final, trying to look after herself a wee bit, which you can expect. You would want to be in that one. I'm sure Robin Nielsen would want them all to be playing to top form to get to the final, but I thought last week's game they looked a wee bit off it, and Celtic have got everything to get out of this game, so I think they'll go for it in 2-0 Celtic.
Yeah, Charlie?
I expect Celtic to win to try and wrap up the title as quick as they can and put more pressure on Rangers on Sunday.
Yeah, I've got 3-0 Celtic. Tom, what have you got?
Yeah, I think Celtic will battle them. I'll go for 4-0.
4-0? 4-0 to Celtic.
Did you
put 4-0 down?
I've not put my predictions out. I was at the golf, but 4-0.
Yeah, okay, that's good, Ruffy. I think Tam will slip right out of the competition now. You've gone for mid-table mediocrity, haven't you?
I'm just trying to stay up for that bottom spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second bottom would do me nicely.
I think having spoken to Tam Cowan last night, I think he's resigned to the fact, Ruffy, that he's taking the troops out for a meal.
No, I was looking at the points for the bottom 3. I wouldn't like to be in the bottom 3. I think it's still everything to play for. There's somebody always comes up with an 18 or a 19 pointer, and that could just throw everything into it for the last couple of games. But fortunately, we don't have to worry about that.
Well, absolutely. I don't care. I don't know about you, but I still would like to win. That's why we're posting everything on the quiet here.
Have you noticed that Ruffy's got on his feet?
Yeah.
There's only one word that would sum them up.
Yep, he's got his
staunch.
Yep. You've got your Dick Advocate brown brogues.
He is. Is that a tribute to the result last night?
No, it's older generation. You know, that's what happens. You know,
Come
usually we're
on,
playing
it
all
will be
year.
difficult, but we can do it. I never forget, Dick. That's what he used to say to me at the end of every. Okay, can you win it? It will be difficult, but we can do it. So maybe this time.
Yes.
Ruffy, you just got to keep them on there. Is that your lucky shoes?
Yes, my lucky shoes.
Well,
All year.
a lot of people were asking was Ruffy at a funeral and all that, but Ruffy is going to the Partick Thistle game straight after this.
Yeah, and actually I have upped my game because I know the Ruth's watching, and I thought I'd just put a
Well,
comment on
I'll tell you one thing.
She's watches me every day, so I've upped my gear,
Ruth-
my gear a wee bit.
It's a long way to go on a Friday night. And
It is, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know what.
It might be we turn it round.
There's not a catch.
Is Holly going to wear his suit again that he's not worn all season?
No, he's been wearing a suit the last couple of games.
Why
I have
has
to
he
see.
done that for?
I don't know. I have to maybe ask him that.
Get
I
the
don't
Crocs
know.
back on the cat.
Yeah,
incredible.
the wee-
Listen, what about Hibs Aberdeen? Tam, your mob are...
Spending a fortune.
Yes, yeah, 10 grand's just outrageous.
Is that dollars or pounds? Is that a month?
Pounds. That was
a week or a
that was a
month?
week. It's bad, isn't it?
That is, but I've just got plenty of dough, so we can just throw it a bit.
Absolutely. Have you got a chance to, do you have a sense of confidence that they can take something against Aberdeen?
It's just, it's a nothing game, really, to be honest with you. I know Hibs have tried to, put a couple of things in place to bring kids along, you know, supporters to bring kids for free and all that, but there's so much apathy about Hibs at the minute.
Yeah.
And this is no helping. A big signing, Chris Muller, came with a lot of fanfare, hyped, MLS, hasn't worked out for him.
Who signed him?
Well, it'd have been Ron Gordon and Ian Gordon signed him. I don't think that Jack Ross would have known him from MLS. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But, if you're bringing guys like that in on more money than Martin Boyle was earning, and he doesn't get a game, then it's...
That's the problem you have when you bring these players in.
It's a totally different...
Nisbet does really well for you and gets no contract institution. They won't allow him to leave to go to Birmingham for $3 million. And when you find out he's earning teams like that and he's not producing, then it's game over.
Yeah, I've got them down 1-1 here, Ruffy. I can't see anything other than a draw in this one.
I think these two in particular are the most disappointing sides this year, because you expect Hibs and Aberdeen to be up round about 3rd, 4th, 5th. So I think I went for Hibs just because of home advantage, but both of them were absolutely minging last year.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our clip for tonight. Hibs are minging from Ruffy.
The Hall of Fame posters are now getting ripped down from Easter Road.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, you're absolutely right. You've nailed it, Ruffy. To be honest with you, I thought you just said that. I was waiting you saying I'm just going to go for Hibs because I always go for Hibs, even if they're playing the Real Madrid side in 1960.
You don't want your 40 taken down.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as Aberdeen are concerned, ranked rotten. We've said it week in, week out. Now, after that win last week, suddenly Jim Goodwin is saying it's confidence that's the problem, not Hibs.
Confidence is always an issue when you're at the wrong end of the table, but hopefully off the back of a decent result against Dundee last weekend, that'll give the boys a little bit more self-belief. We don't fear going down to Edinburgh and playing against Hibs. They're a decent team. There's no doubt about that. They've got some very good players that can cause us problems as well. But, we have to have that confidence in ourselves as a group and individually.
Well, Aberdeen got to produce something to give the Dons fans something to cheer about all the way to the end. Livingston against St Johnstone. Callum Davison. At this point, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're going to talk to Charlie about his team's chances of escaping the drop. But for Callum Davison, it's all about the St Johnstone players believing that they can just finally get over the line and get ready for a playoff.
I think we've got to remain positive and look at the bigger picture of where we've been and where we're going. So I think it's a remain positive. A little go to them for standards. I think it's really important that the standards drop Saturday. But I think it's remaining positive that we believe in it. I believe in the players. I think the players have got to believe in themselves as well, that we're a good team. So, yeah, it's a hard one, but it's something we've worked really hard this week on doing.
Yeah, Charlie, St Johnstone, they know what they have to do. They're in the box seat, I think it's fair to say, and they'll be confident that they can finally get it over the line this time in this match against Livingston.
Yes, but also in the back of their mind, they will know that we can go to St Mirren and get a result. By all accounts, they were poor last week at home against St Mirren. So And the thing is, they're not going to a team that's not playing for anything. You know, Livingston, Davey will have them fired up. He'll want to try and win this game, try and finish as high as he can. And you know that they'll be applying themselves properly and he'll be at it. So, you know, you hope that Livingston can do a result. But listen, we have to try and focus on ourselves and we have to win our game and see what happens. But it's they're in the box seat at the moment, and it is going to be very difficult.
Yeah. What have you got for this one, Ruffy? I've got St Johnstone to lose narrowly 1-0 to Livingston.
Yeah, I've got Livy. I think Livy have been the surprise package this year. I think last year we were all talking about their free kicks, their throw-ins, their bullying and all that. But I think they've been playing a lot of good football just now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Livy to win 2-1.
Yeah. Tom?
Going to go for 1 each. I was quite impressed with Livingston last week, but I think St Johnstone can nick a draw.
Yeah, if they nick a draw, it makes it even more difficult for your guys. Ross County against Motherwell. I'm looking at the league table here. Ross County will still feel as if they could maybe snatch, the 4th position. There's only 3 points in it. The games are running out, but I still think Ross County can take Motherwell because Motherwell have been woeful.
Yeah, they certainly have. I mean, Tam's telling us, he can't believe they're in the top 6, but any time they went up to Ross County, they put up a fight. I think the tension might get a wee bit to Ross County, so I've went for 1 each.
Yeah.
1 each for me.
1 each, yeah. Charlie?
Ross County.
Yeah, okay. St Mirren against Dundee. Stevie Robson's had a wee dig at his players, and he thinks he was correct in doing so.
So anything that I said was what we agreed in the dressing room, what needed to change. And, we've bought into that. The players have bought into that. And as I say, we have got a really small squad available. We've got lots of players, but there's 9 players out on loan that we can't bring back, unfortunately. But the boys that are here are really pushing, going through the pain barrier for us. And as I say, after that Motherwell conversation, it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, I think he was trying to criticise some players who maybe had down tools, Charlie, their minds were elsewhere, but he had to get something out of them.
Absolutely. You're still getting paid by St Mirren. You've got to honour your contract, you've got to do your best for your supporters, and he's right enough to have a go. And like I say, you don't need people like that in your football club if you think it's going to be easy and down tools 4 games to go to the end of the season because you think you're safe, because sometimes it will catch up on you. And Stephen's got to come in and do something. I think they're obviously going to be a wee bit of a rebuild in the summer. Looks like he's trying to sign players already and getting pre-contracts. So I think St Mirren will be busy this summer, and I don't think you'll see St Mirren down where they are at the moment for the next season. Well,
I did mention to you last week at Last Chance Saloon, this is you hanging on to the trapdoor. Is there any bonus in the fact that, Conor Ronan has gone back to his club, Jordan Jones back to Wigan as well. So for me, their 2 best players are not there.
Yeah, Ronan's our best player. He's a creative player. He could score a goal out of nothing. I've been impressed with every time I played against him. He's been good. So to have him out is obviously going to hopefully help us if we need to turn up and hopefully stamp our authority in the game. But when you've got players missing like that, then it's definitely help us get a result.
Yeah. Ruffy, what have you gone for? I've got St Mirren 0, Dundee 1. Free kick from Charlie, but Charlie was sent off before because he dived to get it, but somehow there was another free kick next to it. Yeah, and he was out.
The manager.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
look at his face. Honestly. Yeah.
No, Dundee have cost me too many points this year, so yeah, I'm fed up with them.
Have you pumped tonight?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
6 hours journey to Inverness.
Don't worry about hope. It's a Stonewall certainty.
No, I think home advantage.
Yeah, you love home advantage, eh?
Yeah.
So
I hope I'm wrong, I really do.
I think it's like Balaver or something, it's like altitude or something, home advantage, you want it, you win.
They're playing in the Marathon. They'll never be able to get used to it. Anyway, so St Mirren to win what?
2-1.
2-1. I've got 1-0 Dundee.
I'm going to go for probably the first time in about 6 months. I'm going to go for Dundee to win.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do it tomorrow. I think they're going to get a 1-0 win. I think they're going to keep it alive going into the last 2 games. So come on,
and they play Hibs on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. They're murder. So, but by the way, Charlie, can I just say something to you? This is a season of the most amazing comebacks. Real Madrid, incredible. This could be Dundee by the skin of your teeth. Suddenly, can you imagine going down to the last game
get
and
within
it's all
2,
there?
Charlie. Get within 2.
Benzema.
Okay, it's a minor technicality, Charlie. I want you to try and be positive about this.
Listen, I'm always positive, you know that.
Yeah.
When I'm on the pitch, I'm positive. I know that it can make an impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
He should come back.
Brilliant.
About
Okay.
being hooked.
Big games, big players.
Exactly.
Simple as that. I think from a free...
on the bench or no?
Exactly. I think
It was a good 50 minutes as well.
absolutely, you were good for 50
good
minutes.
50 minutes.
A lot of people are amazed that you get taken off, but nevertheless, listen, from a set piece or something, it's just a wee bit of magic we need from you to see if you can scrape out of this perilous position. Now, Rangers against Dundee United. I don't know about you, Ruffy, honestly. I mean, the Rangers fans will be going in there thinking to themselves, who cares? Go and buy another Europa League final T-shirt, you know?
Yeah, it's Rangers all the way for me.
Yeah.
You know, if Dundee United keep it down to 2, I'll be more than happy with that because I've got 2-0.
Yeah, so have I, 2-0.
So, I think Rangers. I think they make a lot of changes. I think it's time to give boys like Alex Lowry and Leon King, guys like that, give them a run it. You know, I don't think the league is gone anyway. But I still think Rangers will be too strong. I'll go for 3-1 to Rangers.
It's interesting you saying that there about Alex Lowry. It's probably a game. I mean, I know Giovanni Van Bronckhorst will say, look, let's go until it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah.
But the likes of an Alex Lowry, he's only got 1 year left in his contract. He's the type of player who could make an impact next season when all these players are leaving.
They can, but I think you've still got to respect the game and that they're at home and Rangers will still expect them to win. So, you know, people like, you know, maybe Stephen Davis will come in. I don't think they'll make as many changes as you think. I think they'll, 4 maybe, because they'll respect Dundee United and they want to do it. They won't want to allow Celtic to just, limp over the line. They want to make it as hard as possible for them. And, the Europa League final's not until, the 18th of May, so there's plenty of time. Maybe rest them the last weekend of the season. But no, I think they'll still go as strong as quite possible they will.
I think you've got to give the fringe players above Lowry a shot before you give him it.
Absolutely.
You've got to give them a chance to say, look, I want to be in that final. I've been here all year and I've been in and out, so give me a chance to show you what I can do.
Ramsey, Davis, Balogun, they'll all be jumping a bit to it again. Arfield back in,
Yeah.
So.
Okay, it's Sunday. The Rangers fans will be heading to Ibrox in great numbers. I think just basically to show their appreciation to the players once again. The noise inside Ibrox on Sunday will be maybe not as loud as it was in midweek, but they'll certainly be cheering the team for their tremendous achievements. A lot of people have been asking, Ruffy is heading up to the game at the Tulloch Stadium because the old Jags, you're up against it, Ruffy. Can you pull off something sensational? You're behind by 2-1. Yeah. Is there a belief in that squad?
Yeah, I think there is. The last time we were up there, we were winning 3-2. We had about a minute to go and we lost a late goal. So it's up to the players. The players know what they've got to do. You would like to think Inverness might be a wee bit nervy, if we were to get a goal. So
why will they be nervy?
Because there'll be 2 each. No, you told me there's 2 buses going up there.
Your team bus?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. No,
there'll be no fans there.
Well, I don't know about that. The supporters
40?
are very loyal. No, we have something at the park. Yeah. We've got a big screen at the park.
But that's not going to help the lads that are up there.
No, I know that.
Yeah, okay, just keep hammering them.
Give me 3. It's a 3-1 for me.
I think it's important that Tiffany turns up tonight.
Well, he's not turned up the last 2 games. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah,
These
okay.
big teams that try and tap their players before the end of the
season.
season.
Oh, there's the line, Wolf. There you go.
Who's tapping Tiffany?
Where's he going?
Thistleboard.
Somewhere not far away for you.
Yeah, Thistleboard. There you are. Thistleboard member rages at Dundee United for tapping their player. I see it all now.
Money, so 100 grand.
Yeah.
Well, they're usually going to get stung first for Zach Rudden, so.
Yeah.
No, we won't.
Anyway, apart from anything else,
he's on his way back.
Let's not.
He's on his way down.
Let's not discuss private business here. Nevertheless, Ruffy, I have to say, I think it's going to be 2-0 to Inverness.
Yeah, I can see what you're thinking, but you've just said it's the year of the turnaround. 2 minutes ago, with all the teams that have come back.
Yeah, but you don't have Benzema.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brian Graham, but
yeah,
Brian Graham.
Yeah,
big Brian.
He's the big
I fancy tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aye, I do.
Is that right?
I fancy Partick.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, players should be a wee bit relaxed.
The thing is with Inverness,
good.
Do they stick a twist? Do they go and they're already winning the tie? They sit in and cagey, or do they go and try and win the game?
Yeah. I know Ruffy said he was wanting to walk off the set before the programme, but we thought that was rather unprofessional. Yes. So our last point before we say farewell and obviously let everybody enjoy their weekend of football back domestically is, of course, how does Pep Guardiola pick up his Manchester City players for the run-in after the night of all nights? It was a nightmare as it unfolded from the 90th minute onwards.
Bottle job.
Show them that league title. Say that's what you've got left. That's what your season. That's what your season's come down to. This Premier League title. It's massive to win the Premier League. Yeah, it's a huge disappointment where they are, but to go and win the Premier League title again is a big step forward. And Man City will come again, and Pep will come again and try and win it again next year.
Yeah, absolutely. But psychologically, Ruffy, it must be in their heads.
Yeah, well, it's all about the players. It's all the players you've got.
He's desperate for me to blow it for such a cheerleader. I want the quadruple. It'd be great, wouldn't it?
No, it depends what kind of mentality you've got in the dressing room. I would think the players like De Bruyne are want to win. They're all winners. I mean,
he looks shocked, by the way, Ruffy.
Who?
De Bruyne. He looks as if he's gubbed.
Well, it was a worse decision.
As in mentally?
Yeah.
It was a worse decision than Mark McGee taking Charlie Adam off last week, was him taking De Bruyne off.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
just saying, Charlie.
It's you tinker away with it. Here's hoping that something dramatic happens, and then suddenly Liverpool, who are at home to Tottenham, stranger things have happened. Quadruple would be, I don't think, out with, of course, it's a special thing. Only really special teams can do a quadruple, Ruffy. I think Celtic have managed it, and that would be Liverpool.
Would it be more than that if then we spoke about it earlier, if Rangers and Celtic win it as the Super Cup, does that make it 5? With trophies if the two of them played for that?
Well, yeah, that would be unbelievable.
Mourinho counts everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, what a signing Diaz has been.
Oh, he's been fantastic. Diaz has been superb. And by the way, he didn't even need a time to adjust. Straight in, everybody's going, what a player. Anyway, fingers crossed at the weekend, your team gets the big win. Good luck to Ruffy on his journey up to Inverness. Remember, speed cameras, average speed, the lot. Good luck to Ruffy on his journey up there, and then of course the sad journey back with the realisation
journey back
they've been pumped. Yeah, absolutely.
Stop off and have more fish and chips.
No, I'll be in that nightclub in Inverness. What's it called?
You staying over?
Oh, possibly.
Johnny Fox's? Wow.
You're only staying over if you win.
Yeah.
Well,
he's coming home.
I'm anticipating this winning.
Okay. Any chance you could shut up? By the way, we're trying to get you out the door. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel. We'd love you to do that, and also hit the bell. You get all the notifications. We've got lots of great features coming up, lots of great one-to-ones. Charlie eventually, and you better do it next week,
Friday.
He's going to pick his all-time dream team of the best 11 players he's played with, and I think he's got some special players in there. Don't forget also, download the PLZ Soccer app. You'll get all the breaking football stories. Our website's available, and across all the social media, we'll keep you up to date with what's happening. From Ruffy, from Tam McManus, from Charlie Adam, from myself, Peter Martin, congratulations to Rangers for making it to the Europa League final. We will see you on Monday.